Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for tuning in to today's video. I hope you guys are all doing well, and there's something that I wanted to talk about today, because obviously, as the title of today's video suggests, 0B finally updated to 1.20. If you're still unsure, I don't know how, whenever I say 1.20, obviously I mean Minecraft version 1.20. Now, there are a lot of changes that this update brings to 0B0T. Now, a lot of good ones. Few bad. I'm not really here to delve into the bad changes, mainly the good ones, and how this update will affect the server's future. Now, where do I stand on this? I know none of you are asking yourselves this question, but in case you are, why you would be asking yourself this, or asking this, beats me, but in case you are asking this, my opinion on this is I'm happy but also sad, because, 0B was one of the last servers to update to 1.20 after 2B did. And there's a group of us on the server, myself included, and as well as my base mates, that were like, the update would be cool to have, but at the same time, 0B, while it still is a clone of 2B, it would lose its uniqueness almost, because instead of copying 2B like most of the other Anarchy servers were, 0B would continue to stay on 1.12, and stay its own thing. Like, it would show that 0B is staying independent from 2B2T, and that the owners are not just hopping on the bandwagon. And I think that was good for the server for a bit. But as time went on, the server popularity started to dip. The player count was reaching new lows like every day. There are a few people, because there were so little players on, coming on and just crashing the server just for fun. They had nothing else to do. And it was kind of like the day 2B2T almost died, like the FitMC video. That there was nobody on, everybody had quit, but not for the same reason. It was mainly because, there was, what the fuck is this? This is cool. Anyway, this was mainly because there was hardly anybody online, and nobody wanted to play on a server by themselves. Which I totally agree with. My group, and my base mates were slowly starting to play less and less. Not because we didn't like the server, we didn't like our base. We love playing on the server. We'll probably continue to play on this server for years to come. But everybody was getting busy with work, school, sports, you name it. So we were playing less and less. That was definitely not helping the player count of the server. And so yeah, the server player count was just dropping, and it was not good. I'll take that. No, I don't need that. Anyway, the player count was dropping, and it was not a good time to be playing on 0B. And I mean, the crashing, the not many players, there was nothing to do, really. There was not many people on. So, there was a sense that there's nobody on, so why even bother playing? And that's how a lot of people felt. And that's kind of how I felt towards the end. And, it was really killing the server's popularity. It was not good. And here, we'll sign it H, and then put it, having not that many people. Oh shit! Having not that many people online was killing the server's popularity. I mean, nobody was getting on and playing. Nobody was building bases. Nobody was doing anything at spawn. It just wasn't a fun time to play on the server. It was boring. Like nobody wanted to build a base because there was nobody that was gonna help them because everybody was at their own base. Like a lot of people were doing solo bases. My base that I'm still currently at and still currently working on. We were one of the few group bases that was still active on the server. A lot of them were solo, or a lot of people would just go to spawn in PvP. And I know that's a big attraction feature to this server. Is a lot of people come on the server mainly just to PvP and not really base, which I think is a shame. I love basing, but anyway, I mean, there was nobody to base with. There was no griefers that were consistently playing to base hunt. And I do understand that base hunting is a tedious process. I'm not going to deny that at all. But not having the threat of your base being destroyed just made it like why would I want to build this? Cuz I mean, I'm just going to get bored and nobody's going to be here to show up and blow it up if I leak the coordinates because I don't want to build here anymore. So that had something to do with it. That and the update. There was no update. So a lot of people had stopped playing because they're like, yeah, I'm gonna move to these other servers that have updated to 1.20, and maybe if 0B eventually updates to 1.20, maybe I'll join again. Maybe I'll come back to play. And I honestly don't think, looking back at it, that if I told myself like a month ago, hey, 0B is eventually gonna update to 1.20, I'd probably tell you, I don't think so. I don't think it is. I mean, the owners have been real quiet, at least from what I've seen, about what they're doing to the server. Now, whether that is actually the case, don't blame me for saying that. I'm really not involved with like the technical workings of the server, nor do I care enough to look into them. I just know whether or not the owners are online checking out the server, or whether or not they're working on an update. I never saw anywhere that they were planning. Apparently my friend said that they were running a test server on 1.20, and whenever I told him that the server had updated, he goes, oh, so they took down the test server that they were running on. I was like, what the fuck test server were they running? I never heard about that. Then again, that could just be my fault for not looking into it at all, but not having the update really played a consequential part in the life of 0B. I mean, it was really dwindling. I honestly didn't think that the update could possibly save it. I mean, we were averaging at most during peak hours 15 people. 15 people at peak hours is insanely low. Like, that is, like, even for a smaller server like 0B, 15 players on peak hours is immensely piss poor. And it was fucking sad, man. Now since the update, the average, like, during some of the slow hours, because that's typically when I play on 0B nowadays, because of like school and sports and occasionally work, is during the slower hours. That's averaging around 20 to 25 players, which is not much more, but it's still a significant improvement from 15 during peak hours to 20 during like the lower hours of the day, and which is pretty good. Do I think that all of Zero B's problems are going to go away just because they updated? No. Are a lot of them going to go away? Yes. I think so. I do think so. I really think that this update was something that Zero B needed, especially with players leaving at a rapid pace. I don't think it was good to keep it on 1.12 any longer. While I am sad because there's a sense of nostalgia that for some reason 1.12 has for me. Maybe it's because that's what I've played on Zero B for the past few years. Maybe it's because I don't know. Like, I honestly could not give you. Oh shit! There's a fucking wither. Did it lock in onto me? No. Okay, good. Anyway, but yeah, I honestly could not give you a legitimate reason for why I feel such nostalgia. Shit, it saw me. Fuck. Like I was saying, the player count was just dwindling. It was the state of the server, like I was saying earlier, was just not good. It was hard to play, not having many people online. The amount of new players joining was fuck. There we go. The amount of new players joining the server was not replacing the amount of people that were leaving. And whenever there were new players joining, they wouldn't stay. Like, the retention of players on the server was really bad. Like, people would join, they'd maybe die a few times at spawn, and then quit. Or they'd join, they'd get out of spawn, they'd get bored, and they'd leave. Never to come back again. Or they'd join, see that it was still in an old version. For a few of them, I know this was the case. See that it was in an old version, say, oh, and then leave. So this definitely, and I've noticed it already, like I said earlier, that the update has significantly improved the player count of the server, and that's something that the server desperately needed, was a lot of players to return to the server to continue to play. It's been bringing in a lot of new players since the update. I've noticed an increase of new players joining the server for the first time, and a lot of them are staying compared to how it was before the update. And I just think this is a start of a new era of 0B0T, and I think it's going to be a really good one. I think it's an era that I can see myself possibly making more content, because there might be more things to do now that, one, there are a lot of new blocks, new tools, new features to the game. There's going to be a lot more new players joining the server, so there's going to be a lot of interactions with a lot of different new players. And another thing is increased mob spawns. I don't know if I've already said this or not. Maybe it was in a different take of recording this video. Was that a spider jockey? What the fuck does this have? Huh. Anyway, and I know for a fact I said this in a different take of recording this video because I keep fucking up, or my family's too loud in the background. But there's a technical thing with Minecraft, especially the older versions whenever running servers, is that there's like a significant drop off when playing newer versions and playing older versions on servers. The newer versions, obviously, because they're run with newer technology, the computers are able to handle it. But with the older versions, the amount of entities being rendered in a certain amount of chunks in Minecraft would like overwhelm computers, or overwhelm the game's like processing systems. It's some technical bullshit that I don't understand. Something to do with Minecraft that, yeah, like I said, I don't understand. Nor do I care to understand. What the fuck? That's something I still got to get used to, is the new swimming. But yeah, I mean, now that we're on a newer version, it can handle loading thousands of entities across like over like 200 players loading X amount of chunks. So it makes the server feel a little less bare. That was another thing that I personally was experiencing, that whenever my friends and base mates weren't online, I was just playing by myself, it was getting kind of bland, and just it just felt bare, because you start a single player world and there's mobs all over the place, whether they're passive, hostile, or neutral mobs. They're everywhere. And so the world, well, it still seems bare in a sense that like it's just you. It doesn't feel bare as if you're the only thing there. Like, there are mobs there with you. There are villagers. There are pigs, cows, sheep, zombies, skeletons, creepers. 0B on 1.12, because of that like technical thing with the server not being able to load many entities with a certain amount of chunks being loaded, and the mob spawns were mainly reduced to prevent lag, which is understandable. I mean, you don't really want to be playing on a server with an immense amount of lag. That just gets boring. But at the same time, it makes the game feel bland. Now, with the update, I've already noticed that the mob spawns have been insane, how much they've increased, and it's felt like it's a completely different server. It's awesome. I mean, like, look at all these creepers. There's one, two, there's a zombie. I've been shot at by a few skeletons already in this video and earlier today whenever I was playing, and it just doesn't feel the same. It feels like new. It feels refreshed, and like I've been saying, that feels like something that 0B has needed for a while, and I think with this new 1.20 era of 0B, there will be a lot to check out, there will be a lot to do, and hopefully there will be a lot of content that I'll be able to, work on and push out for any of you that would be interested in that content. So I think that's going to do it for today's video. Thank you very much for tuning in and watching this video. If you watched to the end, thank you very much. It really, really helps me out, as I don't do this as like a primary thing. This is like a little for fun side thing that I like to do, just because it gives me something to do in my free time whenever I'm not hanging out with friends or playing sports. So you watching this video, subscribing, if you're not and you decide to, that also really helps me, because this is my hobby, and I like putting out videos whenever I can. So thank you very much for tuning in, and hope that you guys have a great rest of your day, and that you tune in to the next video whenever it's uploaded, whenever that may be, whether it's tomorrow, a week from now, a month from now, most likely, or a year from now. I hope you tune in, and hope you continue to enjoy my content for the foreseeable future. So thank you very much, and have a good day.